So I've been sharing about my processing as I work through difficult feelings and emotions, right? And no matter who you are, this is a part of life. It's a part of being a human. We have duality. No matter how practiced we are, it is not the point of the human experience to always feel good. The point is to come here and feel all of the human feelings, to feel all of the things, and to hopefully learn how to navigate through the difficulties and the beauty and the blessings to bring more ease and to learn and heal and evolve. So yesterday, I've been on this streak of like feeling really good and positive and like anchored in my truth and in the flow and things going well with business, that kind of thing. And yesterday, I just wasn't feeling that way. I was feeling anxious, kind of stressed, and nothing in particular happened to cause it. So it was kind of like confusing why I was feeling that way. So I noticed that I was feeling that way. I didn't have the most time in the morning, but I did have a little time mid-morning. And the practices that I choose to engage with during that are the things that regulate my nervous system, the things that down-regulate my nervous system and calm me, and the things that get me into a place of receiving. So because I'm a shamanic practitioner, I'm very practiced and seasoned in getting myself to shift into a place of receiving, because that's the foundation of my healing work. Shamanic practitioners, energy workers, intuitives, you cannot bring the healing forward for someone else if you don't know how to drop yourself in to a place of receiving and, you know, what I call getting out of the way, right? We have to get our minds, our brains out of the way to hook up with spirit, to hook up with whatever you call it, our helping spirits, the healing energy to come through. It's not going to come through, especially in a clean, clear way, which is what we're going for, if our minds are involved, if we have stories involved that are clouding what we're doing. So I'm pretty practiced in this, and still I'm a human. And so of course, when it's like my own stuff coming up, that's way harder than any other time to shift and get into the place of receiving. But that place of receiving is not only for receiving and bringing through healing, receiving guidance, receiving wisdom. It is the fundamental essence of receiving, right? Nourishment, receiving clients, receiving the present moment. So these practices are really fundamental for me, and they're total staples. They're 100% necessary for me. So the things that I did yesterday to try and help myself shift, if I had more spaciousness, I would have done things a little differently, but I stopped and I lit some prayer candles. I harvested some aromatic herbs from my garden for my client. And that is like a whole practice for me where I'm dropping in, I'm talking to the plants, I'm enlivening them with the prayers for which client I'm working with and what we're doing that day. And so that process alone is more than just picking herbs, right? I made and drank tea. I took some herbal tinctures, some nervines that help to calm and regulate my nervous system. And I smelled some aromatic herbs. Then I did a session. I started to feel a little better, and then I dropped into a session with a client, and it was a beautiful session. And doing sessions always helps me because I drop right in. I'm putting my own stuff aside. I'm interceding with love on behalf of the client. And all of the healing tools that I use in my sessions are things that not only do the healing work, they bring forward the healing from spirit, from the plants into the client, but they also help the client to shift into a state of receptivity, as well as help me to shift to get out of the way and in that place of bringing healing forward. So the sessions always help, but then after the session, I was still feeling the same way. And I was like, oh, you know, it's easy to get hard on yourself. Why am I not doing this better? I should have meditated this morning. I should have asked for time and space to do XYZ. I should have drummed for 20 minutes, all of the shoulds, right? Which never helps. And it wasn't until my partner came home and I started talking and I just started crying and I just let all of these emotions out that I didn't even know. I didn't think that I was sad. I just thought I was stressed or anxious. And I was talking to him and all of these emotions just flooded out. And yeah, I had kind of spoken to some things from earlier that morning that I was kind of holding on to a little bit. And I felt so much better after that. Another interesting aspect of this is I was feeling doubtful about myself. I was feeling not good about myself. I was feeling, not in my power. And my second client, my evening client, that ended up being the focus. What she brought to the table and what we worked through was this feeling of inadequacy. And so one thing that healing practitioners of many different sorts can sometimes experience is picking up on their client's energy before the session. So this is something that I had in a way sorted out with my helping spirits a long time ago, 8 years ago, to say no, I'll tell you when I'm ready to receive the information and you can't interfere with my life. And they listened for about 8 years. And I think that it's time for me to revisit that with them. And, nothing's ever set forever, although I do have really great helpers that things can be kind of set it and forget it for a really long time. But I've been getting the hits lately from a few different happenings like this where I need to check back in with them and say, what do we need to do? Because I at least need to be able to discern better what is me and what is not me. And also, of course, if there wasn't some resonance within me of those feelings, then it wouldn't come up. I'd be able to just know, oh, that's not something I ever feel, right? So it's nuanced and double, multifaceted. But I wanted to share that with you all and also ask, when you're feeling low, anxious, stressed, bad about yourself, what are some practices that you do to help you shift? I have a lot more that I like to do, but it always depends on the day for what I feel called to and what I have time for, honestly. So what things help you when you're feeling bad about yourself, stressed, anxious? Comment below. I'd love to hear. And if you ever need one-on-one support, I would love to help you. I can work with people remotely anywhere in the world as long as you speak English. And we're a good match. We can work together. So please reach out with any questions. Comment below here and let me know what you think.